Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me back here on my desk. Today, I have a Transformers video. This time, very excited. It feels like it's been a while since I've had a masterpiece figure added to my collection. But as you guys can see, this is MP56. So essentially, this is Trailbreaker. I got this from Big Bad Toy Store, so it took them a while to get theirs in, and then I had it sitting on my pile of loot. But nonetheless, really glad to have this in. Not much going on with this packaging. I think recently a lot of the masterpiece releases have come in this box. This is empty because what comes inside of that is essentially this. And I do my masterpiece figures are probably the only ones that I do keep the boxes. So I actually like the fact that you get this box because it serves sort of as a protector for this boxes, especially if you're like me and you like to keep your boxes, at least for this line of figures. There's Trailbreaker looking all nice and awesome. And there's a vehicle mode, again, Transformers Masterpiece, Trailbreaker. And of course, in the back, language I can't read. I should learn how to do that at some point in my life. And then, of course, the figure in different poses, his vehicle mode, the different accessories. I love these shots here. The group shot, which are, I guess, meant to emulate scenes from the cartoon. So that's really cool. And then, of course, back here, all the different accessories and things that he comes with. Again, Trailbreaker, really looking forward to this guy. Again, as I said earlier, feels like it's been a while since I've had a masterpiece figure. So it's nice to definitely get this one in hand and, open it and see what this guy's all about. Okay, so what do we get inside the box here with Trailbreaker? First would be stickers, which I don't have any idea where these go, so I'll have to figure out exactly where these go in robot mode, but that's pretty cool. I don't recall getting that many stickers with the other Masterpiece figures, but that's something you get. You get this card, which you do get, I think, with every Masterpiece figure, at least as far as I'm used to. I do like the artwork there. You see Trailbreaker in his vehicle mode, Optimus right behind him, and then there he is in robot mode, MP56. And then you get some stats. Can't read any of that, but cool pose, vehicle mode. You get that, and you get instructions, which with all these Masterpiece toys, I always need the instructions to follow because at least to me, they are pretty complex, and this one's pretty big. But you get some text there that again I can't read. Vehicle mode, robot mode, and then some action poses. And then as always, they show you or give you a guide as to what all these different accessories that you get in the box are. Some cool picture there from the actual show. And again, all the different things you can attach in vehicle mode. As far as accessories, we'll put this aside. You guys could see I've already opened this up. We get a couple of things. You get this, what they call a parabolic antenna. This is supposed to fit in vehicle mode, and I haven't yet quite figured out where exactly it would go mounted. I believe it can go, actually it looks like on a roof, which is interesting. So in this section here, I'm assuming, I know during the transformation, this whole section kind of lifts up and this would go kind of in there. So you probably have to mess around with this to attach this, but that's something you can play with if, that's your thing. You get this different accessory, which he did use in the show. This goes attached to his hand where he has like his cannon. You can use that. It's a nice chrome plastic. Hopefully it holds up. Let's see what else we have here. You get another hand. So what you can do is essentially take out the cannon from his left hand and give him another hand. So he'll have two regular hands. And this one's fully articulated. It looks like, yep, pretty much. Just trying to get that in there. Really cool. You get these cool effect here. Again, this is to attach to his hand. Looks like a firing effect, or maybe he can use it if he had exhaust pipes, You can use it as exhaust coming up. That's pretty cool. It's like a lime green or neon green color. So that's cool. Another accessory here for vehicle mode is this bumper. So this is the more cartoon accurate bumper. It does have this sort of like matte silver or matte gray color with some black outlines versus the bumper that comes installed on the actual figure. So this one's more chrome. I'm assuming this is more to look, I guess, more realistic, but you can switch them out. It's actually pretty simple. You pull this down and you kind of move it out, and then you just replace it with this one here. So I had to mess with it for a bit, but this is pretty much what it looks like with this, I guess, more cartoon accurate bumper versus the chrome one on. I'm personally going to keep this one on, but if that's something that you like, that's pretty cool. And then the last two things here we get is different heads. So this one he's got his more smiling face that you can switch it out for, or we got here the more yelling, right? Kind of prefer this one where he's smirking. And I'll show these, I guess, versus what he has on when he's in robot mode. So you do get a little bit of accessories. I generally don't play a lot with the accessories. I usually, I may switch to faces and stuff. So it's kind of cool that they include that for folks that do. Now, we can move on to the vehicle mode. So here we are in vehicle mode. This is actually how he comes packaged in the box. That's why you see him there. I will transform him or attempt to transform him on camera if you're interested. So as far as the other Masterpiece toys, he does fit in really well as far as vehicle mode. He is branded, so you will see Toyota branding right there on the back. So it's cool they went through and got the licensing. This is, I guess, some kind of Hilux truck, but it's really cool. I mean, if you like just vehicles, I think this is pretty cool. I guess the one thing is he's a bit panely, especially back here, all the different lines, but I think when you're getting a pretty accurate robot mode, I don't mind it so much. You get the Autobot logo here, some clear plastic windows. On the bottom, you'll see his legs, obviously, but I mean, you're not going to display the thing like that. He rolls pretty well, no issues there. You got some mirrors here on the left and the right. The doors do open, but they're part of the transformation essentially. So, but you can open them if need be. You need to pull out slightly. There is not really an interior. That's his head you see in there, but it's a thing you can do. You can also open the hood here and essentially pull up and then slightly out. It's on a bit of a hinge there. And yeah, they've actually gone out of their way to mold some engine details in there. You see the air filter, I believe that is. Some kind of engine cover and other little things, hoses. So that's really cool they went through that, you know, to add that. And then some more Toyota branding here on the front. So as far as the vehicle mode, I like it. You know, again, it's put together really well. I think it scales well with all the other ones. I do have Beachcomber here, which this is a recent release, but this is not Masterpiece. This is, you know, the recent one that came out maybe a couple of months ago. So this is new, but I honestly think these being two different lines, I think they scale well, at least in vehicle mode they do. Right, so I think that's kind of cool. But overall, I am happy with this vehicle mode. I love the little details that they've added. I think they've done a really well job. And then we'll move on to transformation. Alrighty, let's attempt this on camera. I may fumble a little bit. I have transformed this a couple of times now, but it's been a while, at least since I've had this toy, at least a couple of weeks. So, first things you do, as you saw, I opened up the hood, and the reason for that is I usually fold these mirrors in first. They're on a little hinge there, so you can fold them in. They have a little section that you kind of just fold them in, and they go right in, no problem. Then you can proceed to close the hood here. Usually when you want to open this up, the instructions do tell you to lower this lightly so you can get better access to the hood there. You can do that as well. I chose not to do that in this case. So first step we're going to do is we're going to open these doors. So we're going to pull them out slightly, and then you pull them out. Be careful not to pull them out all the way, but then you also pull out slightly because they're on a sliding little hinge there. And same thing here. We're going to pull this out and then slightly pull it out. We can slightly start folding them down, but you could just leave it like that. Next step would be this back section here. So we're actually essentially going to remove this whole leg section from up here. So first thing would be to remove these sections here, loosen them up. They're tabbed in. Same thing here. Remove them. And essentially once you do that, this whole part's gonna come loose. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab here, and we're gonna fold this essentially all the way down like that. There is a, you see this little hole here? That's tabbed into this section here where my thumb is at. So sometimes it takes, not a lot of force, but a bit of a firm pull to get that out. So once you get that out, you'll see these are pretty much the legs. So we'll start off here. What I like to do is just separate these two. They're tabbed together. You separate them, and we can start off here. So first thing we'll do is let's move this panel back here. So we'll start with the feet. So essentially the foot here, it's like this. So you're gonna, this is his toes essentially. Fold that out and also fold this in. We're gonna move it out slightly like that. And then we're gonna open this up. So you're gonna take this wheel here, you're gonna move it out. That will give you access to this. Then this section here, you're gonna move out. And then what you could do is this kind of, you have to pull this up. So pull that up to extend it. And then that'll give you better access to this section here on the front. You can pull until it tabs in. That kind of completes that whole section. And then here what we can do is we hide, and I love hide when they hide the wheels, right? You're gonna fold in to the leg like that. You're gonna take this, fold it down, tab it back in, and then you're gonna take this section here and fold it down. You'll see that there's sections here that will tab on. And then same thing here. This right here will tab on to here, right there. So you're gonna fold that in. And then we'll do the same thing on this side, right? So we'll take this, we'll pull this section out, pull it out just to give yourself some room, pull the back portion of the leg out, pull the wheel out this way, then that gives you access to this, and then you're gonna pull this up. Don't forget to do again this side to complete that so it looks finished. And then we're gonna, again, you can hide the wheel in here first if you want, close that, and then tap this back down. And then you can fix these legs as you wish. Then the next thing to do is essentially, you could tell these are not facing the right way. So these only turn one way. So if you're encountering resistance, don't force it, right? Like you see right here, I'm trying to turn this way and it's not budging. It's not supposed to go that way, right? So looking like this, we're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it this way, right? Same thing here, I'm gonna take this, turn it that way. And then pretty much this is what you're left with. And then you're kind of pretty much done with the legs at that point. Next thing would be is the torso area. And here is where things start getting a bit complicated, at least for me. We're gonna take these wheels, we're gonna fold them in like that, fold them in like that. Then the next kind of tricky thing is these doors, right? I'll show you in a second with these doors. So the doors here, essentially, you guys could see here, these are on a hinge. So we're gonna try to somehow flip these in. So first thing I do is we're going to take these window, fold it in. And then you got to turn this way. Like that. Just be careful not to break it. And then once you're in like that, you're going to turn this down. There is a little tab here where my finger is pointing at. That's going to go here where my thumb is at. I always sometimes I have problems getting the tab in there because it's supposed to tab in place. There you go. So it's supposed to look something like that. Same thing here. We're gonna then do the same thing to this door. Fold it in. Try to turn it so that you avoid hitting this center section. There you go. And then we're gonna again tab here. Turn this down. And we're gonna attempt to, yep, it's in there. So good. So now we have that in. Next step is to get this whole back section sort of disconnected from that. So one way of doing that here is pretty much disconnecting this whole back section, sorry. Here, we're gonna remove that, essentially move this up. That'll loosen up this whole panels. You'll start seeing the arms here kind of come out. So the first thing we are going to do here is mess with these arms. So we're going to mess with these arms now, and we are then going to clear these out of the way. You'll see here these the accessories, the shoulder mounted cannons and the missile, etc. Because what I want to do here is essentially take this and just fold it out. Same thing here. Take that and we're gonna fold it out. Right. Next thing to do is, as you'll see, the head is here. So the head has to pop out to come out in here. So we are now going to slightly move the head up. The first thing to do is we're going to loosen this section of the windshield here a bit so that it comes apart. So you kind of just, I kind of just pull it back, and you can see that's all now loose, right? So in order then to allow the head to come out through here, this section kind of expands. You'll see it. You see that? It expands out. So now this head, we're going to try to get it in through here. So usually I just push with my finger through there, and then I just carefully align the head so that it comes out with it. And then you could just turn the head around this way. Make sure it's there, and you kind of just pop it back in. And there's the head. The other thing that does get a bit complicated is trying to get a clearance, at least for me, with the cannons here. So we're gonna attempt to do it here. This specific, the longer laser cannon here has a section where you can pull this out. So you pull it out as much as you can, being really careful not to break anything. And then this also folds, so you can, if you need more room, you could fold it. And then, there we go. And then you could kind of play with it so that you could push it back in, and then just leave it like that for now. This one's a little easier. The little cannon here. So this one you can just fold in, Essentially, it's going to sit like this. You can leave it like that for now if you want. But then you're kind of, you just want to make sure these things don't get in the way. Now, with all that done, hopefully you kept track of everything. We are now going to do this whole top section here, right? And essentially, this is going to collapse down. So before, in the vehicle mode, this was tabbed in like that. We are now, if you could see these sections kind of slide in and out, right? We're gonna slide them out as far as they can go and take this back section and fold it in. And you'll see here, this is again on a little hinge, right? It was like this. Now it's going to sit like that. And then we're gonna take these side panels. There are tabs here that will tab into here. So we just tab them in like that. There's one. Actually, before you do that, there's one thing we got to do. I completely neglected dimension. So thank you for bearing with me. We are going to take these wheel well panels, these sections, and we're going to take them apart. I don't know if you see a seam there. These things eventually actually come apart. So we'll do that, and then we'll fold that in, and then just fold it like that. Same thing here. Fold this in, and then you could pull this out easier. So fold it all the way in, and then these two sections are going to sit like that. Once we have that done, then you can do the part I was just mentioning. So now you could take this section here, you can fold it in and tab it here to the side. So you got one side tab, and now we can get the other side tabbed in as well. There we go. And it's going to sit like that pretty much. Now, we're almost there. If you're still there, thank you for hanging in there with me. Now we're going to take this section and pretty much fold it down. It's going to go, this section here is going to get tabbed into that middle section there. So you're going to take that and just make sure that it holds in place. Once it's in, it's good, it feels solid. Now, you'll wind up with something that looks something like that, right? There we go. Won't mess with that. You'll see this is now what the whole top section looks like now. And now we're going to take essentially this part. A couple of things here. You're going to make sure that these two little nubs, these sections with the little holes that I'm pointing at, actually go into these two square notches. I don't know if you could see them where my thumb is at. There's one here and one here. So essentially when you're folding this, you got to make sure they come in, and you'll be able to see them through here, right? If you can see them through there, you're good. If you can't, I wouldn't force them. Again, this plastic does seem a bit thin. Yeah, so it should look something like that. You got the two tabs in there. You got this already tabbed into his back, and backpack's gonna look something to that effect. So you're good. You can try and finish this if you want. You know, you can fix his little cannons here. This needs to fold. So this thing here is actually like that. And then you're pretty much good with this section. You're good there. The hands here, the arms rather. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna pull it out, and then you'll see that you can't fold this in this way. So that means you gotta turn them around to give him, you know, the articulation that he needs. Back here, you're gonna essentially open these hands up. You'll see here, you could pull them out and just really carefully pull the hand out and then tab it back in. And boom, you're kind of almost there. We're almost there. And then, I mean, you could also, like I said, is pull this out. This one's a cannon, and this is a hand that you can switch out. You could pull it out. You pull out the tip here. And then again, as I said, make sure you pull the arm out and turn it to give him the right articulation. And yeah, you know, as I said, it's been a while for me to transform this guy. I got him, I want to say probably about a month ago, and I probably transformed him 3 or 4 times since. But you know, I will say once you go through all that, especially this whole middle section, the torso, he definitely looks really, really cool. So yeah, let's go over here the robot. So as you guys can see, we've taken the car. He's in full robot mode, fully great articulation. So arms, using a bit of ratchet, you can bring them in. His hands, you know, he could do that. The hands themselves do turn, and again, the hand is articulated. So if you need to, you can put them in sort of like different poses like that. So that's kind of cool. The cannon here, I mean, part of the transformation is that you pull it out. Mine seems to be a little loose. I wish they would have found a way to, you know, have this sitting straight. But no worries there. And as I said, because of the articulation, this guy, you know, he can point his handgun pretty much most ways. The sections here, the cannons or the laser here that he has on his back, it does fold in that way. I don't know that you would do that, but it does go up and down. Same thing here with this section. You can pull it forward slightly, move it up. So that's pretty cool. The head itself, fully turn it around. The head, sorry, the face you can pull out essentially. So you can pull this out, and this is a face that he comes with here. I guess it's like a more serious face. And you can give him his yelling face. In this case, you kind of just slide that in, and now he is yelling. Oh. The waist, his waist though does turn. No no ab crunch. I mean, I guess you could try to make him do the ab crunch, but then he's gonna come apart. As you guys can see, I just tried doing the ab crunch here, and the whole thing came apart. So no ab crunch, but again, he does turn fully. No issues there. He can kick, knees bent, and as I showed you earlier during the transformation, you get very nice ankle articulation. So no issues there. I think from a posability standpoint, you're gonna get some nice poses out of this guy. The skirts here, when you move the legs, they do kind of go in. So this hip skirts you can move out of the way on the side, right? And then you can you guys can see when you move the legs, they kind of move out with it. So you can sit down if need be. But it's pretty cool. Again, I come from Transformers in the 80s where having a figure like this was pretty much a dream. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up the video. We'll do some comparisons. Overall, if you stuck to the end, thank you so much. You saw me struggle through the transformation. That's more indicative of me not being too familiar with it. Again, I've transformed it a couple of times, but it's been a while since the last time I've transformed him. But once you get him together, he looks apart. He looks really cool. Articulation's on point. Again, he definitely has got a good size. One thing I would have liked a little more, I know, I really do wish they would start including some die cast on these Masterpiece toys, considering how much they cost. I noted over time they've included less. I think in this case, this particular one probably has no die cast, period, or maybe somewhere, but it doesn't feel as hefty as the older ones, I guess, is what I want to say. But overall, I think is a great figure. Never thought I would have a Trailbreaker in my collection, but here we are. But anyway, as we wrap up, as I said, let's do some comparisons to my other Masterpiece toys. So here he is next to Starscream. This is the latest version, and again, I think that scale works pretty well. Here he is next to Shockwave, and Shockwave is about the same size, I would say, as Trailbreaker. Starscream is a tiny bit shorter, but again, I think that scale works perfectly. I love the way that looks. I think the colors clash really well with the purple and the red from Starscream. So we will move these guys off to the side here. Let's move on to something a little bigger. Here he is next to Megatron. And again, I think that works really, really well. And let's not leave him there hanging. Here he is next to MP 44. And right now my MP, he was posed, so he looks a little weird. But again, I think that scale works very, very awesome. I think they look really good together there. Cool. We'll move Megatron here out of the way. We'll move Optimus out of the way here. I'll find some space on my small desk. Here he is next to Grapple. Grapple tends to be a little bit more of the chunkier robots, I guess. I'll put him over here. Grapple. And if you have Inferno, I have Inferno. I just didn't take him out. Relatively the same toy. Here he is next to Ironhide. So Ironhide and Grapple there. Again, it's awesome to see all these figures together. I would say Trailbreaker is a little taller. Ironhide here is a bit of a split pose, so he does look smaller than normal, but I think that looks great. We'll move these two guys out of the way. And for something a little smaller, I can show you Sunstreaker and Trax here. So these are the smaller guys that, again, I think that scale works. I think, that's how tall they were relatively in the show. I'll throw in Hound here if he can fit in. Let's move Sunstreaker out of the way. Here he is next to Hound. And this was, again, one of the newer figures. I love that figure, but he's got issues. And then we'll move Trax out of the way so we can make room for Bumblebee, which I know a lot of people weren't too crazy about this guy because of the feet. I personally like him. I love the cartoon accuracy in robot mode. Of course, I agree with everyone that I think they put in a way better job with those feet. But again, scale works really, really well there. Bumblebee, Hound, and then the last two here are some third-party bots here. This is MMC Protectobots First Aid and Streetwise. I could be misremembering, but again, I think that works well. I think that's probably more of a credit to MMC of how well they've done, with their third-party offerings as far as, the robots that I have in my collection from MMC. So they fit in really well against here with official Trailbreaker. I know they have third-party versions of Trailbreaker. I do not own those, so I can't speak to them otherwise. I know they do look really cool, but I can tell you this official one is definitely the part. All right, guys, thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If I missed something or got something wrong, certainly please feel free to leave a comment. Certainly willing to hear opinions or feedback. But thank you so much for spending your very valuable time with me. Again, to me, Trailbreaker here is definitely a must-own, at least a must-add to my collection. I'm very happy that they're still coming out with Masterpiece toys, but we are missing some. Where's Takara? Where's Hasbro? Sorry, Hasbro and Takara with Jazz? Where's Mirage? Where's the smaller mini bots in Masterpiece form? So definitely looking forward to getting more. Hopefully we do. But as far as Trailbreaker, he fits in really well. You guys could see him there. He definitely looks apart. So I highly recommend him if you can get your hands on him. But thank you so much again. Hope you got something out of it, and I will catch you next time.